Wheezy, what's up again?
Hello, hello, hello.
We were just talking about HNL and Asterisk Zero. Usually we like to interview the IGLs, and then we interview a standout player from the winning team. And today you were definitely that standout player. First question is, I just want to ask, how are you feeling about today's match?
I feel juiced. I'm so proud of all my guys. I'm proud of our new player G. He played like a beast. Had a couple of different rounds where he was a real game changer. Um, Poke, a problem with him has just been confidence, and we just have been trying to drill into him that he is a great player and he just has to believe in himself. And I think he really embraced that today. Justin's always been a phenomenal recon initiator. No one has touched that role aside from him, and there's good reason for it. And then,
Right.
I mean, Greed is just he's a psycho. I love the guy to death, but like the way he plays the game is just
Yeah, I
insane. The
was
fact, especially that he can put the pace and I think um that's something where like I guess maybe I'll give myself a tiny bit of credit is I'm me and him are like yin and yang. He is super duper like get in your face, run you down, and I am more of like the taking space, push and pull type of deal. And I think he called a phenomenal game. But overall, I mean, I couldn't be any happier with how my team played.
for sure. Speaking about greed, I just want to ask, how what is it like having your IGL also be a high firepower fragging entry duelist? What is that like for you?
So I've known Greed for a few years, and I mean like I can't even really say it surprises me anymore. Like that's just it kind of like he was saying in the interview of like he just has a very aggressive playstyle. I think what's finally happened is we've all caught on to that. And now
Right, yeah.
like it's pushing me to be able to be more aggressive, like the KO throwing flashes and supporting him and then or switching to the Viper where I was more of a lurk presence.
Yeah, he mentioned that it's basically just him calling these insanely fast and slow rounds, switching the tempo, but he did mention that there was one other person kind of micromanaging the things that he misses. Is that person you?
I believe so.
All right.
I will say I feel like everybody kind of does their part. Like Dippin will make the or Greed will make the main call, and then like if something doesn't go to plan, then one of us might be like, oh well, hey, let's do this, and then he'll kind of take a second to process, which his processing power is insane. But he'll process it and then be like, yeah, let's do that, or he'll come up with some type of alternate play.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds like it's a mix of everyone, but majorly him. Switching topics a little bit, I just want to talk about your own personal performance, more so, less so on map two, but especially on map number one. We saw you on the KO, and absolutely not only were you incredible in terms of mechanics, but you were out there with the best flashes I've ever seen in tier three to glaze a little bit. What was going through your mind as you were putting up that performance?
So first off, shout out my guy Toto, the OG KO. I probably have picked up 75% of everything I've learned about KO from him. I've really fell in love with the character probably in like the last year, and funny enough, Greed, our Psycho IGL, was like, "Hey man, how'd you feel about playing the KO, being a little bit more aggressive?" Because believe it or not, before this game, I was the lurker. I was the guy who kind of kept tempo, um, slowed down and kept the team on their heels of like, when was I going to pop out and go for that lurk pick? But I love the KO. I think it's a great change, and I was super excited to put it on display. As far as my thought process, I'd say a lot of it was like just coordination, sound. If I hear four people running at me full speed and I have Greed next to me, I'm just gonna throw a pop flash. We'll swing out, get one or two, and then try to get out. And that was kind of my thought processes is fragging, but fragging in efficiency.
Yeah. I was actually gonna inquire a little bit about roles. I have two main questions. First off, you mentioned that KO is a change for you. What were you and your team playing on Pearl before? And my second question is, we saw you on Viper and KO. Do you always play secondary controller, secondary initiator, or do you play other things as well?
So not to share too much, but I used to be the Vice on Corrode, and I played Astra on Pearl. And me and our IGL kind of had a conversation, and I was like, I really think what this comp is missing is a flash. Like, because there's so many different chokes and stuff like that you can hold on Pearl just as a map. Having that flash, we can 5-man pop out of a smoke and storm site kind of puts the fight more in our favor. So he brought the idea to me, and I was like, I love it. And um, we're definitely probably going to keep that with our
Yeah, I
performance
mean,
today and just build upon it.
definitely very strong. I have a couple more questions. First off, I'd just like to get an elaboration from you. What was the comp that you guys were running on Pearl before, if you don't mind sharing?
It was actually the comp that Asterix was running.
Oh, right, yeah, that very heavy map control
So
comp.
in a sense, we kind of had like anti-strats for the comp just off of the muscle of like that was our comp at
Yeah,
one
I
point.
mean, you're giving me the perfect segue to this question. I just want to talk a little bit to you about that composition. If would you agree with me on saying that it's a very heavy map control comp, especially with Amen?
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
The Astra smoke and then the Tejo Molly to deny the space.
Um,
I don't think it's a bad comp. I just think from day one, Greed wanted our identity to be basically the tier 3 PRX.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Aggro, run you down, get in your face, and with that comp, it's so much more push and pull. And then if that doesn't work, you're kind of like out of options.
I saw you do a lot around with the KO knife. You would immediately knife Amen. Were you expecting Asterix X to fight Amen more?
Um, I think I was at first, but then like I was just telling the guys like with this map, if we're like double holding an angle, right, more than likely the first guy's a freebie because of just, sheer firepower. But I think what happened, which is kind of what our gameplay was, is we just choked out the map.
Yeah.
Like me and Greed took that early A main space. Poke was stationed with the outlaw and the operator, which he's so lethal with.
I mean, within
Um,
the first 15 seconds of a lot of rounds on Pearl, like a good bit of rounds within the first 15 seconds, we would see you guys with full A main control, full B main control, and poking and prodding mid. I want
mhm.
to inquire. We even saw you guys waylay ult A main on attack once. Do you think that part of Asterix Zero's issue with that map was the lack of fighting for space that should have come with the Tejo Fade comp?
Um, I mean, I suppose you could say that, but and this is not to be like a downer to the other team. I think they
Of course,
played
yeah.
a great game, but I think at a certain point it was just like we had in our head that they're not they I literally calmed the guys. I said if they want sight, they have to kill us.
Right.
And that's mostly how we played. We basically left them spawn in mid, and
Right.
we had two guys that were positioned in great spots to stop those pushes. And I think it would was just everybody, genuinely everybody on the team did exactly what they were supposed to, how they were supposed to do it, and it
Yeah.
led to dominance.
Um, I this is a little bit of a troll question. We saw one round that your Fade player on Pearl got Waylay ulted in church, but the other team's Waylay whiffed on your Fade. What were you thinking in that moment?
Uh, I'll be honest, I honestly don't even fully remember the moment. I think we were all so dialed in that like even
Mhm.
like funny stuff like that, we'd kind of just like, okay, yeah, that happened, and kind of move forward into
Yeah.
continuing strats because we've had in the past in past tourneys where we'll start off with really strong leads, and I think what happens is we start to get cocky or like, oh well, now we can start making a statement and like start doing troll stuff.
Yeah.
and they claw back that 1 or 2 rounds that gives them confidence. And then, so I told the boys, I said, until that score says 13, it's foot on neck,
Yeah.
and I think that's what we did.
Definitely a very impressive showing today. You sure seem to have a lot of drive and also a lot of praise for your teammates. If you had a couple more questions, this has been a long interview. I know you're probably very tired. If you had one thing to say to Asterisk Zero about their performance tonight, what would you tell them?
um Good game, good game. uh Better luck in the future.
All right. And final question for you. Moving forwards into the future, what are your plans not just for the playoffs of this tournament, but what are you going to be working on with your team? What's next for HNL in the playoffs and beyond?
So we're a team that feels like we can make it beyond the tier 3 spectrum. Like we all have an agreement that tier 3, no, no offense or anything like that, but that's not where our end all be all
Yeah.
is. Like, we want this team to get put on the map, and we're willing to take down whoever gets in our way to do so.
Right, and I love to hear that. That is actually what this tournament is for. I just want a space for players to get, obviously there's no cash prize this tournament. I primarily want people to have a space to get actual tournament and best of 3, best of 5 experience. There's going to be a cash prize next season, obviously, and I hope to see you back then. But until then, it's good that you're focused, eyes on the prize, getting into tier 2 and beyond. I like that a lot from you.
One thing I also just want to throw out there is we are a team of people of faith. I myself a bit more heavily, so I always try to start off our matches by leading us in prayer. I've been told by teammates that I'm kind of like the Zelsus of the team. I want to see everybody, hyped up and feeling themselves, because I know what my guys can do when they're in their bag.
Yeah, I mean, even playing the same roles as Elsis, although if I had to put you up against him in a 1v1, I think I know how that would go. No offense to Zelsis.
I
um,
appreciate that.
but yeah, that's definitely good to hear that you guys all share a faith. That's definitely probably helps with the team bonding today. But yeah, I don't
None
have.
of it would be possible without him.
All right, it's good to hear that you hold strong in your faith. Um,
Yes, 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 sir.
Thank you for your time today, and thank you for interview. I know it's been a long night, so I'll go ahead and let you get going. And good luck in the playoffs, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. You guys have a blessed night.